Well, good afternoon, and yeah, it's the end of the week. So, since we got to the end of the week, I was at the Newark Business Club this morning, and we had Chris on from Optimum Safety, just talking about health and safety and how things have actually moved on since the days he was in construction. That got me thinking about the problems related to forklifts. People get forklifts, people jump on forklifts, think it's a fantastic thing. Yes, they are fantastic pieces of kit if used correctly. So, why am I coming on here to talk about forklifts and health and safety? Well, basically, there are roughly around 35 to 62,000 injuries every year related to forklift trucks. So, on average, around 87 deaths per year are due to forklift accidents. So, that's roughly 1% of forklift accidents result in death. So, forklifts in the wrong hands can be a lethal weapon. So, they are an accident waiting to happen if you don't have the relevant information, training, certification, and like we said yesterday about the authorization to operate and that the equipment is in a fit and well serviced condition for actual use. So again, 36% of forklift fatalities involve pedestrians. So it's not just the driver himself who's getting into these problems. There are the problem of pedestrians in the area as well. One of the biggest problems in any company is vehicles and people, segregation of people and vehicles. So if you can keep them apart, that's fantastic, but it's not always possible. So that is one of the major factors why we say on training forklifts, observations has to be critical. The forklift driver is actually responsible not only for his own actions, but of those actions of the pedestrians. The pedestrians haven't been trained, they haven't been taught on the ways that forklifts actually operate. Forklifts operate slightly different to cars. The actual pivot round, the back end swings round. If you don't look over your shoulder and watch that rear end swing, there's a potential of it colliding with fixed objects, or worse than that, with the flesh and bones of people in between those solid objects. So forklift accidents in the warehouse account for approximately 30% of all forklift accidents. These are all according to the HSE. And in manufacturing, the most common industry, the forklift fatality is 42.5%, followed by construction 23.8%. So approximately 11% of forklifts are involved in some kind of accident each year. So we want to make sure that if there are any problems, those problems get rectified, they get put right before anything happens. Near misses. Do you report near misses? Do you investigate near misses? Those near misses can potentially become an accident later on. So we need to make sure that any near miss is looked at. Something has changed since the last time you've actually done the risk assessment. So we need to be looking at it, see what's changed, and put things right to stop this actually happening. So preventing forklifts, you're looking at ways we can do that. How do we prevent pedestrian impacts, falling loads, truck falling off docks or trailers, personnel falling from the forks? Again, you should never lift anybody up on a pallet or on the forks. We still see it to this day. It is, it's illegal, and it's an accident waiting to happen. So mechanical failures, emission poisoning, gas or diesel trucks in enclosed spaces. If you don't get the warehouse doors open, you've got gas or diesel trucks running about, yeah, you're going to suffocate your workers. Again, people crushed by forklifts, people not being observant, people rushing, people trying to take a shortcut, people trying to use the gap created when a forklift is just about to go in to pick up a load. So again, all these injuries could be avoided by better training policies, by what we said yesterday, the managers, supervisors having training in the use of forklifts, what to expect, how they need to be watching their drivers, making sure that they are actually operating correctly, make sure that people are operating in the correct manner. And again, workers who work a 12-hour shift are 37% more at risk of injury. So again, people get tired. So you may start the shift in a good, healthy, and a very safe uh, state of mind. But as time goes on, people get tired. People make silly mistakes, so we want to make sure that that is put right. Forklift operators with the proper training improve their performance scores by more than 60%. So we want to make sure when people get trained, they're being trained up to a high level. We want to be trained up to a level that's up here or way up here. Okay, and then when they start tiring, when they start getting into lesser good practice, they're coming down still to a good level. What we don't want is people starting here and dropping down below. So forklift tip overs, roughly about 25% of forklift injuries are the result of a forklift overturning. There has been evidence recently of a local Lincolnshire firm where a young person had lost his life due to a forklift overturning. Not wearing a seatbelt, no company policy for wearing the seatbelts, and unfortunately, somebody who'd gone to work never went home at the end of the day. So not only can somebody finish up losing their life, but it's also could finish the working for a lot of other people. If a company is found guilty, they can have massive fines, and it could put the company out of business. Not saying that a company is any better than somebody's life. No, not at all. Whatever it takes, we want people to be staying alive. So just take this on board, think about it, and if you want any advice on how to keep safe, how to, as far as possible, keep vehicles and people segregated, how to improve on the training of not only the forklift drivers, but also of supervisors and managers, you know who to get in touch with. It'd be great to have a chat.